The art of resilience is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall, face our fears, and move forward.
Have you ever felt your heart race at the thought of stepping onto a stage? Or perhaps hesitated to voice your opinion in a room full of strangers? Fear, an emotion experienced universally, grips us all at various moments in our lives. But what if we could learn to manage this fear, to reduce its influence over our decisions and emotions? Today, we look into understanding fear, where it comes from, how it affects us, and how we can rise above it to reclaim a sense of freedom and control in our lives. Let's unravel the complexities of fear and lay out a clear path to overcoming it. To begin, let's define fear. Fear is more than just a fleeting feeling. It is a complex emotional and psychological response to perceived threats. It can be as immediate as recoiling from a snake on a hiking trail, or as lingering as the dread of an upcoming public speech. Despite its discomfort, fear serves a fundamental purpose. It primes us for action, gearing up our bodies and minds to face potential dangers. But where does this sensation stem from? The roots of fear are both ancient and modern. Evolutionarily, fear was crucial for the survival of our ancestors, helping them avoid predators and other threats. In the modern world, though, many of the fears we face are not as immediately life-threatening. Instead, they often stem from pressures and anxieties related to social acceptance, success, and personal well-being. Understanding the biology of fear helps us manage it more effectively. At the heart of our fear response is a small but mighty area of the brain called the amygdala. This almond-shaped set of neurons plays a critical role in processing emotions, particularly those related to survival. When you encounter something scary, the amygdala activates, triggering a cascade of chemicals like adrenaline and cortisol, sharpening your senses and preparing your body to either fight the threat or flee from it. This fight or flight response, while invaluable in true danger, can be a nuisance when the threat is not life-threatening. For instance, when preparing for a major presentation, the same physiological reactions occur. Your palms sweat, your heart races, and your muscles tense. Neurologically, fear affects your brain's functioning and decision-making processes. It can cloud judgment, reduce creativity, and make it challenging to think clearly. While we cannot eliminate fear completely, and wouldn't want to since it has protective benefits, we can learn to understand its triggers and manage its impact. By doing so, we can make decisions that are influenced by rational thought rather than raw emotion. While we go through life, certain fears emerge more commonly than others. These include the fear of failure, which can paralyze us from taking necessary risks, the fear of rejection, which can prevent us from forming meaningful relationships, and the fear of the unknown, which can keep us clinging to comfort zones even when change might be beneficial. These fears, while diverse, often share common origins. Many fears are learned through experiences. For instance, a single embarrassing public speaking experience can instill a long-lasting fear of speaking out. Similarly, societal influences play a significant role. Cultural norms and media can shape our perceptions of what is risky or threatening, often exaggerating certain fears. Understanding these origins is crucial because it reveals that if fear can be learned, it can also be unlearned or managed. The influence of fear extends far beyond momentary feelings of anxiety or discomfort. Fear can fundamentally alter how we live, make decisions, and interact with others. For example, fear of failure might stop someone from pursuing an innovative project or idea, potentially stalling a promising career. Fear of rejection might deter someone from opening up in relationships, leading to loneliness and isolation. Moreover, fear can have a profound effect on our mental and emotional health. Chronic fear keeps the body and mind in a state of stress, which can lead to serious health issues like anxiety disorders, depression, and even physical health problems such as heart disease. The social repercussions are equally significant, as fear can inhibit our ability to connect with others and engage fully in community and family life. But recognizing the pervasive impact of fear is only the first step. The next, and perhaps most crucial step, is learning how to identify when fear is influencing your thoughts and actions. This self-awareness is the foundation upon which fear can begin to be managed. Recognizing fear isn't always straightforward, especially when it disguises itself as rational thinking or procrastination. To truly identify fear, we must develop a heightened sense of self-awareness. This involves paying close attention to our physical reactions, thoughts, and behaviors in various situations. For example, you might notice your heart rate increases, or you feel a sudden tension in your stomach when faced with a particular scenario. These are physical cues that fear might be at play. Another effective tool is mindfulness, which involves observing our present thoughts and feelings without judgment. Mindfulness can be practiced through meditation, where you dedicate time to sit quietly and observe your thoughts. This practice helps in recognizing the patterns of fear-based thinking and allows you to see when fear influences your decisions. Journaling is another practical approach. By writing down your thoughts and feelings regularly, you can track how often fear-based thoughts appear and the context in which they arise. This written record can be incredibly insightful, revealing the specific fears that you might not have been consciously aware of. Once we can recognize fear, the next step is to learn techniques to combat it effectively. Cognitive behavioral techniques, CBT, are particularly useful in this regard. CBT involves identifying negative, irrational thoughts and challenging them to replace them with more balanced and rational ones. For instance, if you often think, "I will never be good at this," CBT encourages you to challenge this by asking, "Is there evidence to support this belief?" Often, you'll find that your fear exaggerates the likelihood of negative outcomes. Exposure therapy is another powerful technique, especially for fears related to specific situations, like public speaking or flying. This approach involves gradual and repeated exposure to the source of fear in a controlled and safe environment. Over time, this exposure helps reduce the fear response, as you become desensitized to the stimuli that initially triggered the fear. Both CBT and exposure therapy not only help in managing the symptoms of fear, but also in altering the underlying attitudes that perpetuate fear. These techniques empower you to face fears rather than avoid them, which is crucial for long-term management of fear. As we continue to explore these techniques, remember that the journey of overcoming fear is gradual and requires persistence and dedication. The strategies discussed here provide a foundation for this journey, equipping you with the tools to start taking control of your fear rather than letting it control you. Developing emotional resilience involves several key elements, one of which is strengthening your emotional insight. This means becoming more aware of what you are feeling and understanding why you might be feeling that way. By acknowledging your emotions without judgment, you can begin to see patterns in your responses and identify triggers more effectively. Another important aspect of building resilience is to maintain a positive outlook. This doesn't mean ignoring the reality of a situation, but rather focusing on what you can control and finding ways to stay hopeful even in challenging times. For example, after a setback, instead of dwelling on what went wrong, resilient individuals will look for lessons learned and opportunities for growth. Support from others is also a vital component of resilience. Sharing your experiences and fears with trusted friends, family, or support groups can provide you with different perspectives, encouragement, and understanding. Knowing you are not alone in your journey can significantly bolster your emotional strength. In addition to these strategies, there are specific exercises you can practice daily to help manage and reduce your fear responses. Here are a few. Breathing techniques. When you feel fear creeping in, focusing on deep, controlled breathing can help calm your nervous system and reduce the immediate physiological effects of fear. Try inhaling slowly for 4 counts, holding your breath for 4 counts, and exhaling for 4 counts. Repeat this cycle several times until you feel more at ease. Visualization. Spend a few minutes each day visualizing yourself successfully facing your fears. Whether it's speaking in public, flying, or tackling a difficult task, imagine yourself handling the situation with confidence and composure. This mental rehearsal can make a significant difference in how you handle the real situation when it arises. Progressive muscle relaxation, PMR. This technique involves tensing and then relaxing different muscle groups in your body. This process can help you become more aware of physical sensations and release tension that accumulates due to fear. By incorporating these practices into your daily routine, you can start to build a toolkit that not only helps in moments of acute fear, but also strengthens your overall emotional and mental resilience. The first key to long-term management of fear is consistency. Like any skill, managing fear requires regular practice and dedication. It's important to routinely apply the techniques we've discussed, such as cognitive behavioral strategies, mindfulness, and practical exercises like deep breathing or visualization. Making these practices a part of your daily routine can help solidify them as habits, reinforcing your ability to manage fear even during unexpected challenges. Another vital aspect is self-monitoring. Keeping a journal or log of your experiences with fear can be incredibly useful. Regular entries can help you track your progress, identify situations that trigger fear, and reflect on how effectively you're using your coping strategies. This ongoing review allows you to adjust your approach as needed and celebrate your successes, which is critical for motivation and long-term adherence. Setting new challenges for yourself can help reinforce your resilience. By gradually increasing the difficulty of the situations you expose yourself to, you can continue to build your confidence and reduce your fear responses. This doesn't mean overwhelming yourself with unmanageable fears, but rather methodically stepping up to face slightly more challenging situations over time. While personal commitment to conquering fear is indispensable, the support of others plays a significant role in this process. Engaging with a supportive community, whether it's friends, family, or a therapy group, can provide encouragement, advice, and a sense of belonging. Sharing your journey and hearing others' experiences can normalize what you're going through and provide new insights or strategies. Professional help, such as therapy or counseling, is also an important resource. Professionals can offer tailored advice and strategies based on the latest psychological research and their experience with similar cases. They provide a structured environment where you can explore your fears safely and constructively. Additionally, educational workshops and seminars on managing fear and building resilience can be incredibly beneficial. These platforms offer both learning and networking opportunities, allowing you to gain knowledge and connect with others who are on similar paths. As we wrap up our exploration of how to conquer fear and achieve freedom from its limiting grip, remember that the journey is both personal and progressive. No single approach fits everyone, and finding what works best for you might require some experimentation and adaptation. The strategies and techniques discussed are starting points, tools to empower you to take the first steps toward facing and managing your fears. We encourage you to keep moving forward, to keep learning, and to accept the support of those around you. Fear does not have to define your choices or your life's path. With the right tools and support, you can manage it effectively and live with greater freedom and fulfillment. Thank you for joining us in this journey. Don't forget to stay engaged, practice regularly, and reach out for support when needed. Together, we can face our fears and move towards a brighter, more confident future.